seem to echo in his dreams. The psychic maiden seemed to fall upon her knees, unaware and unprepared for all the demons in defeat. Yeah. Ooh, she waits for me. I long to see you.
Hello, 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 everyone. How are we doing today? Jess, how you feeling?
I'm feeling real good. How's it doing in St. Louis there today?
It's doing great. It's doing great. We're down at Kara, but hopefully she's feeling better, and we'll see her at the next one. But we're here doing
That's
our
right.
thing. We're
Kara's
gonna
a
hold
trooper.
it down for her because we love her to death. And
That's right.
we're gonna do what it do, baby.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited. I mean, let me tell you, my son was talking to me this morning. Well, I guess it was Friday on the way to school because he can't drive quite yet. But he was asking what exactly it meant to do PR. And I was trying to explain to him what that meant. And then I realized that he was having conversations with our producer, Joe. If you want to say, hey, what's up? What's up, Joe?
Hey, what's up? And shout out to Colin for doing a great job of getting Jess set up tonight.
Hell yeah. We should have Colin
he
on
got
sometime.
me set up. I'm telling you, he's not about it right now. He's all about that, whatever Roblox it is he's playing. But in explaining to him what PR meant, let me tell you, I was like, bro, I can't wait to tell this on the story. I'm going to tell the story on the show. So he says, Mom, I just don't understand what you do. And I remind him of a story that happened less than 6 months ago. His best friend's a girl. They've been best friends since third grade. They're both sophomores in high school now. They're in the back seat. I'm taking him to Busch Gardens, which is a big adventure park, kind of like
Sure, Six Flags.
Six Flags, okay? And somebody on the radio says something about fellatio. His best friend is a girl, starts laughing her ass off. And my son's like, I'm like, hey, buddy, do you know what fellatio means? And he's like, Mom, I do not want to talk to you about fallopian tubes, okay? Lost my mind. And so I'm like, Colin, the point of PR is to help kind of navigate those rivers. And he's like, well, I just can't watch this. So he helped us get set up today. And he knew that I had a lot of content from this week alone. So he chose to walk away.
What you should have told him is when a band or an artist or an actor makes some faux pas out there and does something, the PR cleans it up.
You can't say fupa. Like, that's right. You can't say fupa. Fupa. Faux pas.
I guess it's faux pas, isn't it?
Faux pas.
Jesus Christ.
Fupa.
Wow. We're talking about
fupa is something
fupas
I would
now.
tell you
Fupa.
could say.
Look at that fupa and a poopa. Hey, I'm a North
man.
County
All right,
educated
so-
kid, so
All right. So first, I honestly want to know, like,
what?
what do you got going on with Gavo? I know that there's been some little sneaky things coming, and I've
Yeah.
been watching these videos. Tell me what's going on.
Well, we're still in the studio. We recorded. We're actually my cousin who you met. She actually sang, one of her friends sang sang on a track. It's fantastic. It's the track about loss, and we actually, if you were at Jeff Burton's tribute show, we played it there. But she added some her and her friend. I mean, just phenomenal. I'll play it for you when we're done. But just
We got to have her on the
phenomenal
show, man.
Absolutely,
We got to have her on the show.
Blue's amazing,
Absolutely.
man. She is amazing. So we're recording a bunch of stuff. We're actually doing a bunch of covers as well. So we're doing, this is, I guess, EP 3 and 4. We're doing 6 EPs total. So we're doing an original EP and a cover, original cover. And then after that, I think we're talking about either doing a full record or, see, the thing about records is you do a record and you get 3 months worth of activity on it, or you do singles every month and you get the same amount of activity each month. So that's what we've been doing.
Okay, help me understand this. Like,
Yes.
You have. I feel bad saying this. You're a spring chicken. You're fucking on it all the time. I'm very
Spring
grateful
chicken.
for this experience with you. But like,
Never been called
you've
a spring
seen the
chicken before.
spectrum of music evolution. Like you've seen when you're out there roughing it the hard way, playing it on a boombox, and you've also seen the Napster. You've seen the evolution into this new integration of audio books and live music, and there's no more like. You don't pirate things anymore. So how does that work with you guys? Like how you guys obviously still rock that. So how are you maintaining that level of awesome? Like, are you even watching the trends as they go? What are you doing? Tell us all. We need to know.
Well, what you do is you find a distribution company and you sign with them, and they help you navigate this new media thing, which, I really feel bad for bands coming up because they have to focus it differently. Like, I don't know if you remember back when you were a kid, when a record came out, the deep cuts were the ones you loved the most. Those were the 7-minute songs that kind of grooved and did things. And nowadays, when you get a record deal,
track at the end.
yeah, nowadays when you get a record deal, they want 3.5 minutes, and they're only worried about 2 or 3 of the 3.5 minute songs on a record, because they're not worried about anything else. They're going to throw out those singles. Hopefully they do things and they'll move on. Whereas a long time ago, they used to develop bands, and those deep tracks, were the ones that, most people really, really got into that band because of the deep tracks.
So taking that, like looking into this new generation, which I've got a couple questions, because obviously the scene has changed. It's so much different. But like, number one, if you could give advice to somebody that's starting right now, that's in their 30s, and it's like, I want to do music, what would you say to those people?
I would say do it because you love it. Don't do it because you're going to be famous and you're going to make money, because you're not.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just honestly,
that's exactly it.
Do it because, I'm a business. I own my own company, and I make my money there. I still make money with Cabo, but it's not like I can live off of Cabo anymore. I mean, there was a time where we did, but, it's just one of those things where we still do it because we love it. And we all have day jobs. We have jobs that make way more than what we were making when we were out touring in a van.
But
and then,
that
and
one
then the bus.
time.
That one time we made.
Man.
Well, we made enough money.
Well, no, it's not about that one time for you. It was, I mean, like that one time, the first time you hear somebody singing something you wrote back to you.
That was when we opened up for.
You're standing on stage and you're jamming out.
Well,
that one time.
Well, we got signed. But before we got signed, we opened up for Stain down at Lake of the Ozarks, and we played Champagne. Yeah, that's the first time we ever played it. And then people were chanting it back to us, and that's when our manager.
Was that show?
Yeah, that was at that show. And Joe Litvak, our manager, was like, when we were done, he says, "You guys are going straight into the studio when you get back, and you're recording that song. There's something special about it." And lo and behold, that was got us label interest. We were played on the Point, and then Tommy played it somewhere else, and so next we were getting played in 13 different markets, and we didn't have a deal yet. People were wondering who we were, but we actually didn't get signed.
But didn't that moment?
Yeah. What?
Didn't that moment change it for you personally as a musician though? Like when you hear people singing back to you, your stuff.
Well, there's levels.
Isn't that crazy?
There's levels to it though. You hear it on the radio, that's one level, and you're excited, and then you hear it on the radio again, and you're like, okay, that's fucking cool. And the next thing you know, you're being told by your manager that it's being played in several markets, and now the labels are calling. That's a different level, there's just levels.
I love that.
There's levels to it, it's just one of those. But we didn't get signed because of Champagne. We got interest because of Champagne. We got signed because of Let It Go.
Your face is frozen.
No, because of Let It Go.
Let It Go.
We sent
Let It Go.
We sent Warner Brothers probably 25 songs maybe, and it wasn't until we sent that last batch that they heard Let It Go, and they called us back and said, yeah, we got to sign these guys. So a famous actor, Tim Oliphant, his brother was our A&R rep, and they actually came in when we opened up for Stone Temple outside at the pavilion, or what did they call it, the Riverport. When the doors opened, we played, and they came in and we played there.
Well, that's what Kara calls it, Riverport.
Yeah. So they came out to see us then, and they wanted to sign us there, but we had to fly to New York and do a showcase. And if anybody's ever done a showcase, it's the most nerve-wracking thing you'll ever do, because you go to a big auditorium and they have it all set up. There's 30 people there, and they're all, an A&R rep and their assistant, and from all these labels, and you have to play your set like you're at a full concert. And when they're done, they get up and walk and start talking to your manager. So you don't even know if you did a great job. It's like they hardly ever clap when you're done. So you just don't know it. So it's just an odd feeling.
Yeah.
And
God.
Then you meet with them and they tell you, all the things they're going to do for you and blah, 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 blah. I don't know what it's like now. I have no clue. But there's a different pros and cons to the way people make music today. They have more access. They can get in touch with people. They can market themselves by Facebook, Instagram. It's a lot of work. They got to do it every day. Like you guys, this band that's coming in here shortly, if they want to grow their their page and they want to grow their followings, they have to post every day. They have to do some type of story every day. They have to tweet every day, and it's a ongoing process. You know, some of these bigger bands, they have
different world.
Yeah. Some of these other, bigger bands, they have people that do that for them. So it's just one of those things. It's easier, but now that the market, in my opinion, is saturated with people doing the same thing. So it's difficult. It can be difficult. There's benefits to it and there's cons to it. It just, but as a species, we have to evolve.
That world. That whole world. Like when you start with nothing, you're excited, you're coming up, you're doing your first shows, and then you get your first audience, you hear that first song back, for me, that's what that scene was like. And Joe, again, Joe used to, manage bands back in the day. It was a handful of us we used to manage together, and I had so many stories that I would go to him with, and I was new in the industry, and I would tell you like the excitement of being in that transitionary phase, those little moments, while they may seem insignificant looking back, those moments were so exciting. I remember my first interview on the radio. I remember my first time being on a stage in front of people. I remember my first time not recognizing a famous person.
I was just going to say, you have a really good story at the Ink Spot block party backstage with Jay from Hurt.
Oh, yes, actually I do. So at that time, our band was, we were working really, really hard together with Pookie and my manager, Joe, at the time. And we were throwing stuff together. And they invited us out to the Ink Spot party to go backstage and just kind of watch the production of a larger show, right? And I'd never been backstage before at a big show. Like, I've stood on the side of the stage, what they called a backstage, where there was like, a water dispenser. And they called that your green room. And here I am backstage, full production, mics everywhere, women walking around, men walking around, like hooking you up to different things. And the stage clears out back there. And my band goes with Pookie because Cabo just got done. And this man walks up to me. I'm smoking a vape, and vapes were very new. And I just learned how to make like a really big, dragon cloud, right? So I'm standing there by myself trying to be cool because I'm, headlining this band that's not supposed to be there. Let out this massive poof of smoke, right? Some dude walks up to me. He's like, "Hey there, dragon lady." And I'm like, "What's up?" And he's like, "You here for the show?" And I look over at me. He's got no badges on. He's got no like ID. And I'm like, "Oh shit, he's probably a fan stuck back here." I'm like, "Hey buddy, I know you're really excited to be back here, but I'm sure they're gonna let you come back and meet everybody after the show, right?" And he's like, "All right, cool. Where do I go?" I'm like, "Well, I think that way, but find anybody in a black shirt that says staff on it. Just get away from me," basically, is what I said. And this woman walks over just as this is happening, hooks a fucking mic into him, and all of a sudden I hear, dun, 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 dun. It's Jay, the lead singer of Hurt, walking on stage. The first line of his song, he looks back at me as he's walking on the stage, looks back at the dragon lady that just thought he was a fan person. All right. So like, that's my experience, right? Like I hope he never knows that story. I hope he never hears this, but let me tell you, that was awful for me because I'm looking at this man. I'm like, I know that song. I know that dude. Didn't know what he looked like.
What did you learn?
What happens? These evolutions, these changes. I learned never to pretend like I know what I'm doing.
If someone's backstage and they don't have a pass, they're probably in the band.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Thank you, Mr. My producing band and my manager who were active at the time. Leave the singer alone, just stand there by herself. But let me tell you, I hung out with him after the show, and like the backstage, like the whole experience is not what everybody thinks it is. Like you said, once the catering's gone, like everybody's back in their buses or they're back at the hotel. Like it's literally just like four of you hanging out, like vegging out after the show. They're sweaty, they're gross. They're like, I just want to have a beer. I'm half asleep. Like there's no party like that happens. Like
just like strip clubs, Jess. There's no sex in the champagne room, and there's no parties backstage. That's just the way it is. The 80s are over. They don't do that shit anymore. All right, well, let's real quick.
But it's so cool. Yeah, let's bring him in.
Okay, well, hold on. Wait, real quick. We forgot to talk about what's going on in St. Louis. Good old St. Louis. Well, those who don't know, Fright Fest is going on right now, all the way through October 29th, which I stopped 2 days before Halloween, which really didn't make much sense, but it is what it is. What is this? We have the Best of Missouri Markets, and that's at the Missouri Botanical Garden with almost 100 vendors. They have all types of unique handcraft local product, foodstuffs, jewelry, native plants, and etc. And then, of course, we have Grove Fest. And that's October 7th. And that's dance, eat, and party in the streets of the Grove. So if you guys are looking for things to do this week and the coming week, that's what you got. And now for the music scene, let's bring on these boys. Now, I believe these guys are from South St. Louis or South County. And this is Chaos Bloom. What's up, guys?
Hey,
Hello.
what's up, guys?
How are we doing?
Doing good.
Benny's like, yeah, I'm doing good.
Happy to be here.
Well, let's introduce yourselves and tell us what you do.
I'm Tom. I play bass and I do a little bit of keyboard stuff and I do some singing.
We have Nate
Yo, Nate Haskenhoff, guitars and vocals.
and then Ben.
I am Benny Boy. I am the least important band member.
Not true at all.
No.
I hit things and I make noise and sometimes drop sticks. So.
And everyone, this is
Hey.
Chaos Bloom. So let's start with the name. Where did the
Yeah.
name come from? Who came up with it, and what were your thoughts on that?
We were on Tom's porch smoking a couple doobies.
Is that where we were?
Yeah,
Do they say doobies still?
I do.
Yeah.
Okay, just checking.
I remember all three of us
All
were
right,
just out
I
there.
feel that.
We started. I forget who brought it up. It was like chaos theory or something out of nowhere. I think I brought up the movie with Jason Statham.
Okay,
It's a good movie. And I think at that point we just started different variations of chaos.
right on.
Some form.
Like we're hit on Spotify. Like, well, will this work? No, there's
Yeah.
It's
try
taken.
this one. Oh,
Everything's taken already.
I remember going through, I don't know, a handful of names. Like we were almost Bloody Lemon for a second. We were almost Cerberus. I think that's a band down in Mexico somewhere.
Bloody Lemon
Bloody
sounds pretty
Lemon.
fucking cool.
I don't think that one's taken.
That's
So I mean,
intense.
if you want to be in a band called Bloody Lemon, it could be you.
You know,
I mean,
name.
lemons are good for cleaning shit. So there's
Right.
a lot of implied
Good
stuff.
for your
there.
throat too.
Yeah, names aren't as cool as they used to. Like we're called Cavo, but we used to be called the Hollow or Hollow. There's so many Hollow bands, and so our drummer changed it to. It means Cavo means hollow places in Latin.
Okay.
Nice.
So
Right.
I mean, you know,
Still kind of getting you to the same place.
right.
yeah, not as cool, not as cool as you think names are, but that's right on, right on.
Like you said, I mean, if there's like a bunch of hollow bands already out there, like makes you stand out like
right.
amongst the other hollow fellas out there.
Well, it sucks when you have the
You're not
name-
as hollow now, are you?
no, it sucks when you have the same name as another band. Like I'm in another band called The Poor, and there's a band in Nebraska or some shit that is the Grateful Dead type jam band.
Okay.
And I told my boys to go listen to it, and they were like, "Oh, it sounds great, man. It's different." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" It was like he named the song. He was like, "I kind of like that one." I was like, "That's not us." And I went out and looked, there's another band
That's
called
not
The
my
Poor.
song.
The wrong
That's the worst.
Glad you like it.
How
I didn't write that.
You know, the most embarrassing thing though was after we finally kind of posted about it on Facebook, the name, my mom's like, "Hey, I looked it up and there's actually a Yu-Gi-Oh card with that on it," and I was like, "Oh my gosh, my mom who's."
Does she play Yu-Gi-Oh? Because that
No,
would be
but
cool.
she
What's embarrassing
High
about
five to
Yu-Gi-Oh?
mom.
She's a Yu-Gi-Oh champion and shit.
Right.
Fucking
I love my mom to death, but her and my dad are the definition of boomers. So her telling me that and schooling me in something like that was just like, oh, great. So,
right on. So where are you guys from?
We practice down in South City. That's where I live.
Okay, right on.
Yeah, and I'm actually from South County. I live in Oakville, pretty much right on the JB Bridge going to Illinois. I live like just south of that.
Okay.
and when I first joined, I lived in South City, not too far from Tom. I have since met my now wife and live out in. I'm allowed to swear, right?
Yeah.
I live
fuck it.
out in bumfuck nowhere.
Yes, you're good. You're good.
Labadee, which is like right outside of Washington.
Where the hell is Labadee?
So if you take Manchester, turns into Highway 100.
Uh-huh.
Just keep going.
A long
real
ways
far.
away.
Franklin County.
So how often do you make it to rehearsal?
Once a week. Sometimes I try to do. It's hard. My
He's a
schedule-
trooper.
My
So you guys record. I saw that you guys recorded at Firebrand.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cavo did a couple songs there once.
Nice.
Yeah.
I played in a couple of bands with a fella named Rob Moningham. I might have butchered your last name, and I'm sorry if I did, Rob. But through him, he let us come in and do a couple songs at Firebrand with Chaos. So
cool.
It was kind of cool. Like, know a guy who knows a guy who has a cool studio that has a bunch of cool things.
Oh, yeah.
We got a couple awesome sounding singles out of it.
Right on, dude. So I guess you already released those singles, correct?
Yeah.
Now, I didn't see any videos. You guys don't have a video out there?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Okay, who's the computer kid here?
That's
Technically
probably me.
him.
Yeah.
He's the
Okay.
IT guy.
Yeah,
I love that he's
Okay,
got
wait.
the green background.
So
like a
you're an
computer
IT
kid.
guy, and you haven't made a lyric video for your.
Well,
Oh, we
he's
have a
made
lyric
Tom's
video.
made a lyric video.
Yeah, we do have a
before.
lyric video.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
Drowning Insanity, we have one.
Drowning
Insanity.
Insanity.
Yeah,
Okay. We'll
it's on
see.
YouTube.
Let's see if we can't pull that up there. Drowning Insanity. He'll see if he can pull it up, and we'll play that here shortly.
Nice. That was
So what are the plans? Are you guys going to do a record? Still do singles? Do EPs? What's going on with that?
I don't know. We've got a few songs piled up. We've talked about doing an EP. We've talked about doing a full length. I don't know. We could do more singles too.
I would do it. My suggestion would be to do an EP and then release them as singles.
Yeah.
That's on. I've heard a lot of stuff like that where it's like, nowadays albums aren't really a big deal anymore. Like I'm a big Seven Dust fan.
Hell yeah! Who
I
doesn't
love-
like Seven? Clint lives here in
Yeah,
St.
I
Louis.
know, in St. Louis and LJ's in Kansas.
Yeah.
And Morgan sometimes down in South County. But a lot of them are like, like back in the day, like how you guys were talking, yeah, it's like, albums and you do your showcase one up, but nowadays it's like everyone just kind of does a single, releases it, and like you said, the media stream just takes over from there,
Takes it.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I mean, you get the same amount of press. So unless you're a big band, like I'll say this again, and I stand on my shit. Shinedown is the Beatles of our generation.
oh yeah.
They have had every single record comes out. It's amazing. They have hits, and they just blow up every single time they come out.
They're huge here for sure.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean
they get huge crowds.
they're huge everywhere.
Yeah,
Well, and they get played on every radio station in St. Louis from like 105.7
Yeah.
to 107.7.
Dude, they're fantastic dudes. I had the honor to tour with those guys for a while, and the band did, I should say, not just me. It was Cabo, but they were cool dudes, man. They were awesome. As genuine as you see them on Instagram. Brent is just amazing. All those dudes are great, but you can't take anything away from Shinedown, and I think they don't get enough press. They don't get enough acknowledgement because in the rock scene, they get hits like Taylor Swift does. I mean, every single record from the early 2000s they've released, they have a hit.
Right.
Sometimes 3, sometimes 4. They'll go 4 or 5 singles deep, and
then-
still it's fresh.
right.
You know what I mean? So, you got to give guys like that credit because, they're living that old school record band life that not a lot of people get a chance to do nowadays.
I think nowadays it's a little more about finding like your niche kind of audience, like your core audience that they're gonna rock with you even if you change your style a little bit or if you switch things up a bit. And I think if you can have that core base of people, even if your record doesn't sell hundreds of thousands of copies, you're still gonna do well because they're gonna support you at shows, they're gonna buy merch, they're gonna do all this kind of different stuff. So
Sure.
they probably have a huge built-in fan base that's just all about that type of thing.
Well, the funny thing about Cabo, when we did ours, we've changed our sound every record. Now that could be to a detriment to some people,
Got to keep them on their toes.
but some people hate it. We still get people that go, "You guys should go back to your Champagne days." I was like, well, "We're not." That's
Everybody's a critic, man.
14, 15 years ago, and
Yeah.
we wrote that record or that song a year and a half before we got a record deal. So 2007,
Did you just
2006.
say 14 or 15 years ago?
Yep. That's when that record came out. Next year is our 15th year anniversary of that record.
Nice.
We're talking about doing some shows, but we'll.
The scene is so much different than when Pookie's still involved in that scene, but when I was involved. So what are you seeing as far as the energy of the people of St. Louis these days? Like, is there like an alternative mesh? What's happening where you guys are blending in better, where there's different sounds coming in? Like, what is the experience as a new band? You guys are obviously I'll say just slightly younger than we are. I just kind of want to get an understanding of what your experience is now. Like, what are you seeing in the scene now?
Yeah, are the bands in St. Louis, are they still, like, is there camaraderie? Do you guys like help each other out, do shows together? Do you have bands that you do shows with?
I mean, we've definitely got a few bands that we ally with from show to show. A lot of our songs are kind of all over the map genre-wise. So sometimes we like fit into an alternative show. Sometimes we'll be on like a heavier show, like a metal show, or sometimes we'll like do something like acoustic and folky. So we like run into all sorts of like different acts and folks like across the scene. So
Gotcha. Is that on purpose that you guys haven't gone one way or another?
No.
Or you like the
freedom to just kind of do what we want, what
Oh, yeah.
sounds good to us. Like you said earlier, do it because you love it, not because you want to be rich and famous. So
Yeah, right on.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
because
That's cool shit.
Because like all of us, it's kind of like one of those Venn diagram things. We're all kind of have our own sort of references of music that we love to listen to.
Did you just say Venn diagram?
Venn.
Like a Benny diagram?
Buh.
Okay, I liked Venn
should be a
diagram
song.
better. But go ahead.
We can call it a Venn diagram. I appreciate that. Where like Nate has his sort of thing, but like part of his circle interchanges with with Tom and with me.
Sure.
I have my own thing, and it sometimes like he likes thrash metal a lot. I
Right.
kind of grew up with thrash metal and whatnot. Me and him like metalcore, Deftones, stuff like that.
Got the shirt on, right?
Right.
Who doesn't love Deftones? Come on.
And then
Right.
I'm kind of getting
right.
into it more, but I don't know much about it. Like they get into King Gizzard and the Wizard Lizard, and they have their thing. But then like there's a little bit where like right in the middle of that Venn diagram is like all three of us creating a little bit of everything. Of
And
that.
there it
So
is.
Magic,
it all
a little
came together
magic.
perfectly.
Well, I think that Joe
Hold
Joe
on.
found some stuff for you guys, actually.
Did you find it, or
I'm
did you want me to
excited
send it to
hear this. Pookie, you ready to hear this?
Yes.
Oh my God, it's our Spotify.
You're listening to Drowning Insanity on Audio Inc.
Another day, another time, another 40 in the system, and you're blind to the deal. It isn't real, but to others it's a picture, a perfect life. Don't feel the same. Take the neglect and rejecting the doubt that is all in your head. Indefinite. Don't take blame or make stand, 'cause you'll find out there's no fighting shame.
What?
Nice.
That's you three?
You know what's
That's
funny?
impressive,
When you
man.
guys first started, I was hearing a little bit of Queens of the Stone Age at first, like the earlier stuff.
Right.
And then when you kicked in with the singing, some early Metallica, I was like, okay, all right.
And then they
fellas.
switch in those harmonies right when they're flipping into that bridge right there. What?
Yeah, those two go crazy with the harmonies. They'll
Gold.
Some good shit.
Yeah, all about that. That
Thank
was
you.
that was some
Thank
good
you.
stuff, man.
Yeah,
Heck
man.
I'm proud.
so,
Appreciate it.
so studio sometime soon, correct?
We're hoping to.
Yeah, definitely.
You're gonna go
Yeah.
back to
Get some stuff
Firebrand. Or you
recorded.
going somewhere else?
I think our buddy Rob, he's working with a different studio now, and the name of it escapes me. But I don't know. We'd like to keep working with him because like he's our homie. He made us sound really sweet on those 2 singles. So
Always good to
Hey,
go with someone
he
you're
amplified
comfortable with.
your beautiful sound. Okay, so that's the important part. You
Right,
guys
definitely.
are impressive. That was impressive.
He turned me
really
into
impressive.
a really good drummer. Normally, I don't sound that good, and
Oh, come on.
He's being modest. He's a
Oh.
damn good drummer. He's a damn good
he
drummer.
slays it.
Nice, nice.
Oh gosh, shucks.
I like the
We're all gushing over each other now.
Oh,
love you guys.
Oh.
bromance is so strong. I feel
Okay,
it.
so I hear you guys have shows coming up, right?
We got a
Oh,
few.
yeah.
Let's hear 'em. Where are they?
So we got October 14th. We got our little acoustic festival thing we're throwing. It's in Emmenegger Park, which is in Sunset Hills. We're shooting for like 2 to 6 p.m. It's going to be more of like a day show type of thing, but it's on a Saturday. It's going to be a good time. We're telling people to bring some like lawn chairs and blankets and stuff like that, you know, snacks if you want to. It's going to be kind of a more low-key chill show, but we're playing with a ton of cool bands. It's going to be a great time. And then October 29th, right? Yeah.
Sunday.
I just don't want to get it wrong.
Right.
October 29th, it's a Sunday, I believe, and we're opening for Leah Senior. She's actually from Australia. And it's going to be a really good time. There's a couple other bands playing with us too. And that's at Platypus in the Grove.
Nice.
We've played there a couple times, and we like that place a lot.
Love it.
They have super good food, great drinks, and you know, they've always been super cool with us. And
Hell yeah.
you know, so yeah, we got 2. Those are our 2 October shows we got coming up.
Gotcha.
So we're doing it full acoustic on those, pretty much. We got some fretless electric bass, but it's mostly like a stripped down version of what we normally do. So.
Nice, nice. Word to the wise to the Australian chick. Don't say put another shrimp on the bar.
Oh no,
They don't say that there, apparently. Just so you know.
for sure.
You know what they do say though? They
What's-
call flip flops feet thongs.
That's-
feet songs.
Growing
I
up,
like
they used
that.
to be called thongs. When I was a kid, and girls wore those, and we were like, "Oh, they're thongs." And
No,
thongs
I actually wear thongs. I mean, I
Turned
guess
into
I'm
a different
then the thong
thing.
song came out.
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
it was over.
changed
Everything. The game was just never.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if I'm ever going to look at shoes the same again. Flip flops are never going to be thongs for me.
Flip flops
Although
were
it makes sense.
were the Adidas ones that had the not the toe thing, but the
The strap.
strap.
Oh, it's like the full
whole-
band. I'm gonna call it. It was the athletic sandal. It was
Yeah.
athletic.
Those were flip flops growing up for us.
Remember when John Mayer came out with his own like line of athletic sandals?
No.
Do you remember that?
No, I don't.
I
Say
do.
I didn't follow.
It was
John.
right around when Pitch Perfect became relevant.
Oh,
Different world. Shit.
I actually saw
Because,
John
like,
Mayer
I don't
this
know
year.
any
He
of
was
those
awesome.
words.
was he wearing flip flops?
Was he wearing flip flops?
No, he was wearing like probably a $40,000 watch though, like he usually does.
I mean,
so.
the dude's a phenomenal
He's
guitar
a
player.
phenomenal
Yeah,
artist.
He's great. I
just-
like
Okay.
him a lot, but
It's just
Gentlemen, I gotta ask this. Everybody's talking about it. Okay, what? I don't know if you're football fans, but you're musicians. Taylor Swift, like it or leave it. But Taylor and the Chiefs. What can you guys give me your insight on what's going on here? I gotta hear this.
Oh man, we should
I,
let Nate handle that.
oh me,
Come on,
the
come
biggest
on, come
Swiftie
on.
out of all.
I'm
of
the
us.
Swiftie over
Oh,
here.
really?
Oh, we got a Swiftie in the
I'm not a
house.
Swiftie at all, but I'm tired of seeing it on my Facebook. I'm gonna be honest,
come
because
on.
every other post I'm seeing,
love it. It is.
love it.
Okay, so
Is it real? Or
I
is it
think
fake?
it's
Is it
nice,
real?
but I mean, I don't see the point. Really.
Is it real or is it brilliant marketing?
I think it's brilliant marketing.
here's me. Who gives a shit?
Yeah,
Taylor
where I'm
Swift.
at.
Taylor Swift is a phenomenal artist.
Oh,
She's an amazing songwriter, and she's got one hell of a marketing team.
And is it brilliant marketing for Taylor, or is it brilliant
Who
marketing
cares?
for the NFL? I think it's more the
no, no, no.
NFL
It's for
because
the
Travis
NFL.
Kelce.
I need to
Travis
tell
Kelce,
you my
like- relevant
relevant experience today regarding this. So I walk in, I'm a hardcore Colts fan. I was talking to you earlier. I'm like, I'm going to rush to get back in time for this podcast, but I don't want to talk about my game. I get there, and there are more
was out
women
rooting
than
with
I've ever seen in a
losing
sports
team.
bar, and they are dolled up. They're perfect, and they're just waiting for this game. And like, well, Taylor, we're going to see Taylor. I mean, my God, he's going to look up at her in this beautiful gaze. We just can't wait. That is brilliant. The enterprise is actually gaining fans out of the demographic and massive quantities of people watching.
I'm going to
it.
still go with who gives a shit if they want to date. They date.
I do.
They don't. They don't.
And you know,
Ben cares a lot.
I give a damn.
the most important thing to remember is the Colts lost in overtime.
Oh
today.
Jesus!
Okay. All right. So
Been some rough games this
listen.
season so far, for sure.
To the Rams.
Listen, Taylor Swift's
To the
phenomenal.
Rams.
Taylor Swift's a phenomenal artist,
Phenomenal.
and she can date whoever the hell she wants. And I don't know why
Exactly.
people want to make a spectacle of it. Who gives a shit?
Because I'm really entertained. I mean,
She's-
I'm entertained.
I do have a question for you though, Jesse.
Yeah. What's up?
You said you're a huge Colts fan.
Yes.
Do you watch the Pat McAfee show at all? The former punter, Pat McAfee of the Indianapolis
Yes.
Colts.
Yes. Okay, so I wore my Saturday jersey, which outdated McAfee today. So yes,
Gotcha.
I'm familiar. Yeah.
Okay. Because
I've not gotten a chance to watch his stuff yet, but I've heard it's
they
fantastic.
talk about this quite extensively, and they all love it, and I was for it too. I like Taylor Swift. I'm not going to say I'm a Swiftie, but she does like the melodies are great. Like the music is like very like
She's just-
I could go down
she's
the
like a
road.
machine.
Right? But
In 2 months, there's going to be a song about him. We all know.
oh yeah, no, absolutely.
Wait, it's just
Who cares
But
if
it's not
there
the
is?
same. If you
It's
were-
gonna
if
be
you
a
were
hit,
to date
and the
like a
kids are gonna
hardcore
buy it,
volleyball- if
and
you were
they're
to
gonna
date
listen
Venus
to it.
Williams, it would
Who
be the same.
cares? If she wants to write a song about it, God damn it, write a song about it. She's awesome. She can do what she wants. Her and Miley
This breakup
Cyrus.
is going to be massive. That's literally going to be a freaking triple platinum
gonna make
album. Like,
millions of
please
dollars
break
off it.
Who
up.
cares?
Like, this is going to be brilliant.
Her and Miley Cyrus can do whatever the hell they want. Y'all people need to stay
That's
out
right.
their goddamn business.
Where's the Taylor Swift metal album? That's what I'm waiting for. 'Cause once that
That's a
happens,
She's
challenge,
not-
Taylor
she's
Swift.
not
You hear
Lady
that?
Gaga.
Where's your metal
Okay.
stuff?
Well,
We're
actually,
ready.
it's-
We are ready.
give it some time. You never know.
It's actually Punk
coming.
Goes
It's
Pop,
coming.
Okay,
Volume
well,
3.
Pop punk.
We Came
Taylor
as
Swift
Romans
album?
did
Oh god.
Trouble.
I don't know if you guys saw Lady Gaga. She sang with Metallica and she fucking killed it.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
Lady
that's
Gaga
the only
is
chick
really
I know that can do that shit. I don't think anyone else can, but she could pull up.
I think Miley Cyrus could do it too. Like,
Oh yeah.
I mean, she's got a pretty like rocking voice.
Well, and
Yeah, but the range, the
Nah.
magnitude, and the
I like
skill-
Miley, but
Yeah.
nah.
Gaga, Amy Lee, they're right there together.
Demi
Got nothing else
Lovato.
to compare.
she's kind of going back to like a little bit of a metal sound. Like she has like a full band behind her, and like she's
yeah,
redoing
yeah.
a lot of old songs, like rock version or whatever.
I'm sensing you like a lot of female artists.
So my wife, believe it or not,
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Hey, dude,
I-
ain't nothing wrong with that. Tori Amos for me was my girl, and I loved everything she did. And then I got into Robin
Amy
and
Lee.
Imogene Heap. So I get it, dude. Like the dudes in my band would be like, "Why you listen to all that stuff?" But it's
right?
fucking
And,
awesome shit.
I mean,
Because it's good.
when I
Because it's
at
good.
first I was nervous, and then I was like, you know what, who cares? And then it's like Nate kind of a little bit. Tom's still a little old school. He still likes Metallica, and you know.
I love
can
that
see
shit,
you.
too.
I can see like driving up, pulling up next to him at a stoplight, and it just be him rocking out this.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, 100%. Oh, yeah. Oh, there we go.
There you go.
Hey, a good song's a good song, man.
Yeah.
It don't make a difference if it's got a hook.
Right.
And it's
I mean,
cool.
good. We appreciate good songwriting no matter
Right.
what genre it is. I mean, we can recognize that. And like Ben said, we all have different influences and stuff. But at the end of the day, I mean, we hope to like kind of come together and, you know, make our own sound at some point. So that's really all any artist can hope is to kind of make their own little musical universe, you know?
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
you know, we're artists. You know, it's hard to relay that to people who don't understand it. And I'm not trying to be mean or ignorant, but you know, there is definitely a different view of what music is to people who don't play it than it is to people that do play it. And for me, you know, it's how we feel. It's art. It's a piece of art. We do it. We record it. We put it out there. It's like a painting. And people come up like, I don't like that painting. Then don't fucking buy it.
Right.
Piece
Look
of,
away.
piece of
I'm
my
sorry.
diary, you
Don't
know?
stream
Yeah.
it. I mean, stream something else if you don't like it.
Right.
You know, like, but it's a piece of art. We did something and we put it out there. And if you don't like it, come back and check out the next one. It might be something that you will like.
Well, it's a piece of you. It's like
Yeah.
the songs that we've put out, all three of us. You know, it's like
It's art.
same with any other band. Like people, you know, crap on like Linkin Park for, you know, their first two albums were like this alt rock, you know, hip hop and rock mix, and then it kind of went a
peace,
little
Chester.
more poppy or whatever. It's like, yeah, rest in peace, Chester. God, I love that man. But like, you know, they kind of went away for a little bit, and people were just giving grief, and like, dude, I love them. Like that's an amazing sound. I love what they put into it. It's like that's them. It's like I love those people. I love those types of people.
Sure.
And I like what they create. So it's
Yeah.
like, you know, if you don't like, you can at least appreciate. Like, you know, I'm not a big Beatles fan, but I appreciate everything they've done for music
Oh,
up
I
to
am.
this point. Like, you know,
You know, That's what I'm hearing from St. Louis right now is that, the sound of the entire area is changing. The evolution is changing. But, you've got awesome bands going to check out these new R&B artists and like, dude, this is awesome, dude. Let's compile on this. Like, it's beautiful to see what's happening there. You guys are like integrating and merging these beautiful scenes and evolving St. Louis music scene into this cool place that's never been before.
Yeah.
I love that. I keep hearing these stories where bands are going and watching these artists and just, bam, these magical relationships are being made. Like, it's incredible. It's incredible.
Well, you know what's
just saying.
crazy? R.I.P. Fubar as well, but place called Fubar, they kind of rebranded. Now they're Red Flag at a slightly different location, but they had like two sides of their venue, so you could have a rap hip hop on one side and a heavy metal on the other side. And I've totally been a part of that, where in my old band, it's like a death metal band. We've been there, and it's all these guys going into the next side. I'm like, I wonder what's going on. And you hear beat dropping, and you just hear guys going at it, rapping, and I'm like, man, this is awesome. Like, I'll kind of peek in there, like, oh, we have 20 minutes till we play. I'll peek in there. Like, I love that part of it too. It's like,
Yeah, you're seeing these, and then these beautiful sounds coming out of that merge. That's what I'm hearing. That's the whispers happening right now. These awesome integrations, and just a little hint, you guys should get in on that because it's like coming up, man. Like, everybody is talking about these integrations, these sounds, finding these awesome artists, going down to pops, hearing these big, awesome new R&B sounds, and integrating it into this awesome alternative scene. It's this merging of old school scene and new scene, and this magic power. Get in on that. But seriously, I love hearing that you're two having that experience. That's incredible.
Yeah. And you guys played Pops. I saw you. So that's a venue you play. Yeah. It seemed like you guys play a little bit down in the South County area as well. You guys ever played down on Delmar at all?
Yeah, we've played at Blueberry Hill.
Yeah,
okay.
The Duck Room.
Cool.
We played there once. That was really cool. That's a dope spot.
You've hit all the scenes.
Yeah, I mean, like Cicero's was a cool spot down there that kind of went away. But we never got a chance to play there before, after it closed.
Cicero's is gone?
Yeah.
You didn't know that? Yeah, Jay Mumba. Yeah, that place was awesome.
Yeah, about 5 years ago, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's been a minute.
I haven't gone a while, guys.
There's a spot called CBGB's off Grand we've played. That's a cool spot. It's pretty small, but they have, pretty cheap drinks, and it's always a good time there. They have like pinball machines and shit.
Heavy Anchor,
the Sinkhole on Broadway.
Sinkhole.
So there's a bunch of like real pretty small venues. It seems like there's either like really small venues or like
Pops.
medium to large venues to where it's like you kind of have to have some clout or a booking agent or something to kind of get on the shows like that. So there's kind of like like medium to small venues kind of all closed down and went away.
Like Fubar, Firebird,
yeah,
Firebird closed, Fubar kind of
Ready Room.
Ready Room. That's another good one.
Where are you guys
up,
playing
I
most
think.
consistently these days? Like, if I were a fan, I wanted to find you guys because I listened to that awesome song we just heard. Thank you, Joe. Like, if I wanted to see you guys play live, where do you play most consistently?
Platypus.
I love that that's the name.
Yeah, I'd say Platypus in the Grove is our most consistent. We always have a great time there. It's a little smaller, but it's cool because it's kind of sectioned off. Like, there's the venue side, there's like a food side with games and stuff, and then there's a bar side. So it's kind of three little sections. So if you're trying to do something else, you can.
How big is that? How big is that place?
Not too big. It's pretty small.
1,300 square feet, if that.
Yeah.
Okay.
All of it, like the bar, the middle section, and the.
Yeah.
And then there's a kitchen. I'm not taking that into.
Their drinks are awesome though.
Oh,
I've had a few drinks from. They make some really cool like custom cocktails and stuff.
Wide selection of like draft beer.
So probably a 300 seater. 300 maybe.
Altogether, yeah. All
Right
three
on.
sections.
Hey, I've watched Pookie and Cavo, and I think it was the Duck Room actually, where he took a couple of us to go watch a performance, and I think it was bass player from Evanescence. What's his name?
Tim.
It was Tim playing in like a cool funk band. It had to have been at the Duck Room.
No,
Had to
it
been,
was
right?
it was at Cicero's.
Oh, it was
man.
a sister
Yeah.
house.
Rest in peace.
So we're in this cool, tiny little venue, but it was this awesome vibe.
It's the band.
And, like,
I can't think of the name of the band. They were big in the 90s and they were coming through, and Andy knew the guys really well.
Yeah.
And-
It was an amazing show. It was so cool. I remember it was wearing white pants and a white wife beater, and I got a thing against wife beaters, but like it was awesome vibe. but these awesome, incredibly talented, nationally known musicians were just like vibing out together in this tiny little venues, and some of the most incredible sounds I've heard as a musician personally came out of these places. So like I love that these still is like a thing in St. Louis. I mean, that's really what made this scene. Pookie can say it.
You know, Tim flew in just for that show, right?
Did he really?
He flew in just to play.
Clutch.
When you play for Evanescence, you can do that.
You
shit.
can do it. Like Glenn Sobel is the drummer for Alice Cooper, and he has another band called The Vampires, where he'll do small bars like that and just
kill it.
Yeah. And it's like
it was
for
incredible.
me being another drummer, if I would see that, I would just freak out. I was like, why is no one else freaking out about this right now? It's Glenn fucking Sobel.
Well, the funny thing about Tim was he didn't know the guys.
Really?
He didn't even know these guys. He just loved their music and knew them. And Andy knew them. And Tim said, hey, I'm going to fly in and see him, see if I could sit in. And they're like, yeah, dude, come on up. And actually, Tim, who was the bass player now, he's the guitar player. He's actually a guitar player, too. And Emma from Sick Puppies is now playing bass.
Phenomenal.
I love Sick Puppies.
Love Sick Puppy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
cool.
another one of those amazing stories, and I've got plenty of them. But you know, sometimes you just go, even if you recognize them, just to sit back and let that that moment engulf you. It's remarkable. And Pookie, I can see the look in your face. I'm not talking about the Nashville story.
No, I was just thinking about Emma. She used to call me Pooks.
Oh,
Melted my heart.
Yeah,
she was awesome. Cool.
Guys, yeah, man. Like, so the smaller venues, the point of this is the smaller venues, man, just embrace those.
Yeah,
if
for
you
sure,
fill a
for
room
sure.
like that and every single person in that room is freaking out, even people like Pookie, even people like Tim from Evanescence, they're in those same rooms, bro. So embrace it. I love that St. Louis has that scene. It has that ability. You don't see that in other big cities, you know. That is really where you find your niche.
I still think the industry
like
slept on St. Louis. There's so much talent.
Oh
here.
yeah, absolutely.
I agree.
Yeah, so much talent.
They've
so
just
much
never looked this way, which it's amazing to me. But you fuckers are missing out. There's so many great bands in fucking Missouri and St. Louis.
There's a few bands that make it, you know, but there's definitely so much more here.
Story of the year.
And a consistent amount of bands
The Urge.
who've made it. The Urge,
Urge.
Sinister Ding, King of the Hill.
Stabbing Westward.
I mean, it just keeps going.
Gravity Kills.
Gravity, yeah.
Discrepancies were doing some big things there.
Yeah, they're still doing. Yeah.
Still,
They're still they
Hounds
tour
are
all the
doing
time.
Hounds are doing pretty big things too.
Yeah, they sleep. We had Nelly and Murphy Lee, Saint Lunatics, Michael McDonald, fucking Ike and Tina Turner, and we haven't had a Seattle
Steve
scene.
Scorfina's still here, man. Like he is still rocking that.
Mama's
here.
Pride is still around. Still does the Liston Brothers, and the scene they just skate over it.
My dad, way back in the day, used to jam with Mama's Pride.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I did a song with Danny Liston. I actually just saw Danny a couple of weeks ago. He lives out by me, and I ran into him, and we were talking about doing a couple of shows together with my Santana project and those guys. So
Yeah, he grew up in the neighborhood that they all, and he used to bum around with them.
yeah, that's funny. Yeah.
Benny, Tommy, Nate. I got a question for you.
Here it goes.
Obviously, Audio Inc. We're the new place to go for your scene music, your upcoming news, your everything's coming, right? But we're really trying to start some new fire. We really want to fucking ignite. Excuse my language.
She said
I'm
new
feeling it, just
fire.
the F word. Excuse me. Ignite a new fire. What do you guys think about maybe doing another battle for a large scale entrance in a opening band? Like remember there was something similar where local bands a battle for.
They call it Battle of the Bands?
Battle for Point Five.
Battle for Point.
I didn't want to use the
Oh man,
words.
we've done that before for sure. We did that kind of when we were first starting out in 2019.
It's like our second or third
it's been
show,
a while.
technically.
So if you guys were, offered a slot into this competition, was that something you're interested in? Like, would you guys be excited about igniting that again? We're looking to really, really just start pushing these markets together again. This new scene, the old scene, just creating a new.
I think what we're talking about possibly doing as we build this, because we're just starting out, is building this and doing some type of a local type concert at a
Yeah,
venue,
we're
but-
kind of jumping the gun on that because I'm still in talks with a few venues, and
Yeah, it's-
but we will be putting on like
Just
you know, some
asking how they would
shows.
feel about reigniting that kind of energy again. That's
No, so
my goal, guys.
it's definitely something that we're talking about doing. What I'd like to do is doing like an all day thing at like I don't want to do outdoors right now. I'd
no.
rather do like a place
Indoor
that, like
festival type.
yeah, where bands come
place
in.
like Diamond Music Hall
Something like
or
that,
Pops
yeah.
or the Pageant, something like
even if we did it in the backyard at my best friend's house, I'm really just looking to see the energy. Are you guys wanting to get back into that fire again?
Are you paying
Are you
for
guys
flights
feeling
to
that need
Florida?
from the rest- I mean, hey,
it's on your dime,
Hey,
I'm-
I gotta play. I will host it at my house. That's fine.
You
guys
gotta
can
pay
sit
for the
outside. I
travel.
don't mind.
We're just going to bring a bunch of bands to battle at her house in the backyard.
Great. That'll be
Battle
fun.
for
My
Jesse's
HOA will
house.
love that. Love that.
I will
No,
say,
seriously.
I think that those types of competitions and stuff like that can be very good to kind of ignite a band, you know, fuel that fire, you know, make them want to push as hard as they can go, play as best as they can live and stuff like that. We personally, we have like a little bit longer songs. We've kind of run into some resistance there, you know, as far as radio type of stuff. We kind of tread our own path on some things. So, I mean, we do like the battle of the bands type of stuff, but at the end of the day, we don't know if that really fits like what type of band we are, I'd say.
Have you ever thought about like shortening some of your songs just for like live performances?
No. Why
You
would
know?
they?
Well, I mean, because like a band
Them deep
like
cuts,
Tool,
man.
you
Them
know, a
deep
band
cuts.
like Tool, sometimes they have to cut
Sure,
stuff just to
but-
get it on the radio and to get it
Yeah.
out to the masses.
Yeah,
you know
but
what I mean?
are you guys looking to get on the radio here in St. Louis?
I mean, it's always a bonus and it's cool. It helps, you know, grow our audience, and we're always grateful for anyone that believes in us and wants to put our stuff out there. But it's not on our priority list, I'd say.
More of an
we
internet
definitely
radio
we
kind of thing.
we value our artistic integrity,
Yeah.
kind of above all else. And this isn't like our full time job. I mean, we all have
Sure.
full time jobs that day
Most
jobs
of
that
us
we
do,
do
yeah,
and stuff.
yeah.
So this is kind of our release and what we do to have fun. And you know, we love music, and we, you know, if it goes somewhere, it goes somewhere, and we're willing to put in the work for sure.
I mean, most terrestrial radio plays stuff that are already hits. So They don't
Right.
take chances anyway. So
Exactly.
I would tell you just to play your shit, stand on it, and do your thing and make it fucking solid.
Exactly.
One of the reasons why I started this show is because they got rid of the local show on 105.7 The Point.
Yeah.
So that
Yeah.
I think is a huge missing piece of the St. Louis music scene puzzle.
For sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, Joe put this all together for that very reason. So,
Exactly.
I mean, I would tell you, at some point we're going to try to do something. I don't necessarily know to be a battle of bands, but it'll be like
No,
we'll have
right. Again,
bands
it's
just- A
come and
showcase.
play. Yeah, just
Trying to get that energy. See if,
Yeah.
if you guys are looking for that again, you know, after COVID and with the
Right.
huge change in the energy scene, like
Yeah.
what are you guys as an upcoming band, as somebody who's trying to showcase themselves? What are you looking for? What are you trying to fight for? Like, what's your message trying to reach at?
Having fun, playing music, making people break their necks.
Yeah.
You know,
wow,
just-
that one came out of left field there.
I was
Have
like,
fun and break your fucking neck.
yeah.
Let's raise those chiropractors.
Break your own neck. Break your own neck.
Hey,
yeah,
we
I was
got any
about to say,
chiropractors looking to sponsor this show?
Oh,
hey guys.
yeah, there we
That's
go.
a
There we go.
There we
great
go.
business decision.
Yeah.
Segue right there.
Perfect.
That's funny, dudes. Anything else you guys want to talk about?
Wow, that was
I love-
Anything to promote?
Do it
Anything
again.
coming up?
One,
You guys
two,
in the
three.
studio?
I am.
They did promote. They have a couple of shows coming up again. You want to?
We got November 3rd too, Nate.
Yeah, we're playing at Red Flag November 3rd.
Yeah.
We're hopping on a show with our friends in Hudai. They're coming back from a little hiatus, so we're pumped about that. That's like a cool little Friday night show, I
Oh
believe.
yeah, man.
So we're playing first. It's at 7:30, I think. Yeah.
That'll be a full electric show too from the two acoustic shows we're doing. And legend has it, we might have Alex Williamson playing congas and bongas with us. He's in a little band called Honey, and they're
Really
pretty
good
cool
band.
too. You should check them
Check
out.
them out.
Funny, huh?
Very,
Funny.
very trippy videos. If you, once again, smoke a doobie before watching it,
Or two.
or 2 or 10, whatever floats your boat, I guess.
Well, if
You
I
will
could,
enjoy it.
if I could give you guys a word of advice, every single you release, make sure you have some type of visual. You can do a visualizer or a lyric video. Doesn't make a difference.
Right.
Get it out there, and
Get out
whoever
there.
does the posting needs to post every day.
Yeah.
It sucks.
Yeah.
It's like
We
if
kind of
Okay.
passed the torch on that, but
Well, they passed the torch. I am god awful. My wife is like, you didn't post anything for my birthday. You didn't post anything."
oh, you're in trouble, bro.
And then the one time,
I set my son's password to his phone. He got his own phone when he was 9. I set the password to his phone as my birthday. 112188. You can't mistake that. I'm repeating it again because he's going to be watching this. He is now 16 years old and a sophomore in high school and has yet to remember my phone number or my birthday. 16 years old, has a phone for 7 years. That's
There you
That's
go.
right there. All right. So I get it. But you guys just set it. We can pre-post that stuff. It's all about that social media.
Yeah.
True.
You can
Work,
count on that
though.
natural engagement.
Social
natural
media is
fire,
very important.
Like Cabo
Yeah.
had. They had that natural fire that just ignited them, but guys, from a different time. You got to
Yeah.
fight for it.
It's important.
Post.
Do it just because, if you guys are just rounding, just say, oh, you do Monday, Tuesday, and just go back
Yeah.
and forth. Just build it, and then honestly, do what you do and stand on it. Don't give a fuck what anybody says.
Oh, yeah,
That's how we do it.
But
Yep.
we've definitely stood our ground a time or two
Yeah.
with it. So
Yeah.
Someone wants you to change something or whatever else. Fuck that. You're an artist. You do what you do.
That's right.
We keep those songs long.
Oh,
There
yeah.
you go.
12
Did I
minutes.
hear it?
If
Did I hear that
anything,
you guys
we're
had
adding a
some
couple more.
instruments in studio to play live stuff for a minute?
Yeah, we're going to try something here shortly, and we'll see how that works out. Okay. Well, we're going to wrap this up real quick, and let's see. Jess, you have anything you want to talk about or finish up real quick before we move on?
Guys, I just got to say, I am so excited that I got to be a part of this show because this really feels so personal to me. Given Pookie was my producing man right there. And then, there's a lot of personal stuff to this show.
DJ
Super love your
Pookie.
music. That's right. I've spelled his name wrong. You know what's embarrassing?
You spelled it with an
It's-
IE?
I've been spelling it with an IE. Now, I'm going to tell you this number. We're not repeating it. It's probably going to go on the show. But 15 years ago, I put him on my phone with an IE, and he is still with an IE. I didn't learn until about a month and a half ago that it's with an EE. Even though we follow each other on Facebook, we know each other personally, I've been spelling his name wrong.
I mean, it's
15 years.
only on my Facebook. That is my.
I know.
It only says it right there in
Yeah.
bright blue
I mean-
letters.
Guys, hey, listen. I'm
Hey.
doing a lot of things. There's a lot of things. But no, what I wanted to get back to you guys is thank you so much for coming on. And honestly, that's what we're looking for, is that fresh energy, just to kind of hear where the scene's coming from right now, and we're just integrate you guys into amplifying your sound, amplifying the new scene. So thank you for having us. And
Right
Pookie,
on.
you guys should exchange numbers. These guys are
Absolutely.
awesome.
Absolutely.
And I will say, make sure you guys stay, positive with other bands, build each other up,
Yeah,
help each other
absolutely.
out.
That's what it's all about.
Support other bands,
Okay.
go to other shows, don't get old like me and
Too late.
You're not old. Look at that man. Look
shit.
at that man.
I am
He's
old
like
as
Marie
shit.
Laveau over here.
Speaking
all right?
of-
Marie Laveau.
we need to go out as like Audio Inc. and go and support at some of these shows and
Yeah,
start
hey,
handing
I
out
would
some
love to.
cards and stuff
Absolutely,
like that.
absolutely. And you got to do it before it gets cold.
Oh yeah.
Yep. October's a
I'm sorry,
great
I don't
time for
understand
shows.
cold. You
Perfect
have
time.
that cold,
100%.
white, wet stuff up there, right? I think
Oh,
you call it
Jesus Christ.
snow.
Here we go again. I live in Florida. Blah, blah, blah.
Hey, you guys are.
You have
welcome here.
alligators and what did you call them? Dinosaur mosquitoes.
Oh man,
Uh,
and
And
pythons.
big,
Sounds terrible.
big cats that shake
Pterodactyls.
huge trees.
Yeah.
I mean, like large, like jaguars in my backyard.
Yeah,
They're
say
like,
what-
what are you talking about? I'm like, it's fine. Just come swim in the pool. It'd be a great time.
No
Go-
thanks.
Yeah.
I choose life.
I'll take the snow.
Her dog can run through the screen that protects you in the back, but she's just out there and there's big jaguars and stuff in the trees behind her house, but no big deal, you know.
False sense of
Yeah, you
security.
hear him
Right.
out
That's
there
called.
screaming, doing this bear sound, because in my brain, it means it's going to scare him away. And it's like, you weigh like 3 pounds. You think you're going to scare away all of the large? Anyway,
You're
guys,
nothing
thank
but a
you so much
Scooby
for
snack to them
coming.
things.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Whatever.
Scooby snack. They'll spit me out. They'll return
right.
me. They'll be like, please take this woman back. For God's sake, please take her back.
Jess, you're a mess. It's just Jess. My
Messy
daughter's the only one who's going to get that
Jessie.
reference. The only one who'll get that reference. It's just, who's that girl?
It's Jess.
Oh!
New girl.
Oh shit!
There we go.
I love that show.
Ben got
We
it.
got some clout points.
Hell yeah.
There we go.
That show. I
I'm
love that
a
show.
Schmidt fan. I'm very Schmitty, like
yeah?
behind the scenes.
Schmidt.
Do you
Yeah.
watch the
I'm such
neighborhood
A Josh, too. I'm such a
The
Josh.
neighborhood.
with that guy?
Oh,
Yeah.
he's with the
Cedric the Entertainer.
I haven't seen it, no, but I know of.
Oh, dude, you should watch
That
it.
plays at my work all the time. Like it's always on TV.
He's the same guy.
Oh, I know.
It's the
it.
same character.
I love it. So.
Yeah.
Great. It's great.
It's like
All right,
Will
guys,
Smith.
we're gonna call it.
Right on.
We appreciate you guys coming in.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
We're Chaos Bloom, baby.
Chaos Bloom, guys,
Love
go
you,
check
St.
them
Louis.
out.
Chaos
They
Bloom
are
all
up and
day, all
coming,
day.
and they're gonna blow the St. Louis scene up. Go check them out whenever you can. This is the Audio Inc. podcast.